Hey there, fantasy owners. LTC Fantasy here. Not sure if you're chiming in watching via YouTube or listening via podcast, but really do appreciate the watch or listen no matter how you're streaming the episode. Before we get started, do want to mention we do have a new partnership with 247clash.com. Link is in the description. It's a pools type fantasy player versus player fantasy type game. It's fun and easy to play. If you do go to www.247clash.com, when you get to the homepage, at the top of the homepage there's a link on a how to play video. It's roughly 50 seconds long, explains the game pretty well. If you do decide to sign up, please use referral code LTC, as that will help out our show behind the scenes, and hopefully you win some cash. Do note it is for Canadian residents only at this time. It might change in the future, but for right now it is for Canadian residents only. So today's our Week 19 midweek waiver wire episode. So we're going to look at some lower ownership goalies, defensemen, and forwards that are either on hot streaks or gaining some opportunity due to injuries. Hopefully help strengthen your fantasy roster, not only for this week, but future weeks as well. So basically, we'll get right into it. Some goalies to look at. First one I had is Matt Sogard at 22% ownership. Talbot did just get taken off of IR, so that is going to hurt Sogard's fantasy value, but he should still stay up and be the backup. Prior to Talbot getting taken off IR, he did start 3 of the last 4 games, had a couple W's, 913 save percentage, so some pretty good stats. So if you are in a deeper league now, you might be able to pick him up. Be okay spot starting him, but otherwise he's realistically just a streaming option now. Over in Seattle, maybe look at Philip Grubauer, owned in 25% of Yahoo leagues. He started 4 straight games for Seattle now, and three wins out of those 4 starts there. Sorry, a little tongue twister to start off the episode there. He's been playing well, and he does have the crease for now. Seattle's kind of riding the hot hand. Seems to be Grubauer's crease, so with that, could be an alright option for you if you got an injury in the crease there. Last one, been tooting his horn for quite a few weeks in a row. Phoenix Copley there, owned in 56% of Yahoo leagues now. He's won 5 of his last 7 starts with 1 shutout in there. He's playing really well of late and piling up W's. He's definitely getting his fair share in the win column there. So be a nice add if he is available in your leagues. Before we do get into the defensemen, do want to ask you, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so as we're trying to grow it. Hopefully you're getting some value out of these episodes. Hopefully they're helping in your fantasy leagues there and securing you some wins. And that's my own little plug. We'll get into some defensemen now. First one up is Juuso Välimäki from Arizona, owned in 10% of Yahoo leagues. He's played top pairing, second power play unit. He has 6 points the last 6 games with 14 shots on goal and 10 blocks. He's getting more opportunity with Chychrun sitting. Gostisbehere did come back, so I'll eat into it a little bit, but he's still getting top pairing minutes there, and he'll definitely help you out in your deeper leagues. Next one's over in the Rangers. Look at Keandre Miller, owned in 59% of Yahoo leagues, playing second pairing, second power play unit there. He has 5 points the last 7 games, and in those 7 games he's +5, has 19 hits and 11 blocks there. He really is a well-rounded defenseman and would be a pretty nice add if he's available for a Cats league. Over in Chicago, maybe look at Jake McCabe, owned in 4% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing top pairing there. He has 5 points his last 6 games, so really nice amount of offense. +3 in those 6 games, which is significant considering he plays for Chicago there. And in those 6 games also has 12 shots on goal, 14 hits, and 14 blocks. He has a real recent surge in offense, not normally known for offense there, so don't necessarily count on it, but he is chipping in those other categories, so in your deeper Cats leagues, he could provide some depth going forward there. Over in Washington, look at Eric Gustafsson, owned in 39% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing top pairing, top power play unit there. He has 6 points his last 6 games, and I am recording this on Tuesday night. I believe he did get an assist tonight, at least one anyways. And in those 6 games, he has 15 shots on goal, couple power play points, 7 hits, and 6 blocks there. He's heating back up and should be an okay ad, especially in your scoring leagues. For the Islanders, maybe look at Sebastian Aho. Available everywhere, 0% owned. He's playing third pairing, second power play unit. He has 3 points the last 5 games, so over half point per game. And in those 5 games, also +4 and 8 blocks in there. Not bad offensive of late there. So in your real deep leagues, he could provide some depth going forward. Over in Montreal, look at Michael Matheson, owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing top pairing, top power play unit. He has 5 points his last 6 games, and I believe he got at least 1 assist tonight. Their game's still going on. +3 in those 6 games, couple power play points, 11 hits, and 11 blocks. He's been really good the last couple of weeks there and could provide value, especially in your deeper leagues. Over in Anaheim, maybe look at Cam Fowler, owned in 13% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing top pairing, top power play unit. He has 9 points his last 10 games with 20 shots on goal and 12 blocks. He's been streaky, but 9 points in 10 games, he does get those points in bunches in there. So in certain formats, he could provide depth for you. Over in Columbus, maybe look at Adam Boquist, owned in 7% of Yahoo leagues, playing top pairing, top power play unit there. He has 8 points his last 8 games, and of those 8 points, 5 have been on the power play. So really nice power play production. 9 blocks in those 8 games. He's been producing, especially on the power play, as I alluded to there. So he'll be a nice depth add for your scoring leagues. Over in Ottawa, maybe look at Eric Brandstrom. 0% owned, so available everywhere there. He's playing second pairing, second power play unit. He has 4 points his last 6 games. And in those 6 games, he has 10 shots on goal and 12 blocks in there. He's getting opportunity with Sanderson on the IR. He's getting some PP time, extra ice time moving up to the second pairing there. So in a deeper league, he could be a okay depth add. Over in St. Louis, maybe look at Colton Parayko, owned in 9% of Yahoo leagues, playing top pairing there. He has 4 points his last 5 games, and in those 5 games has 10 shots on goal and 13 blocks. He's been decent of late. Offense is a little streaky, but he does get his shots on goal and blocks. So with that, he could provide depth in certain formats depending how your league is formatted there. Over in Calgary, maybe look at Noah Hannafin, owned in 59% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing top pairing, second power play unit there. And he has 9 points his last 11 games. And in those 11 games, he's a +7, 23 shots on goal and 12 blocks in there. He's been decent for a while. He really had a slow start where his ownership really plummeted. But he'll be a good depth add if he is available in your leagues. Last D-man is Samuel Girard over in Colorado there. Owned in 22% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing top pairing, second power play unit. He has 11 points the last 10 games with 22 shots on goal, 11 hits, and 25 blocks. He's about as hot as it gets there, and with McCarr still going back into concussion protocol, who knows how long that's going to take, at least a couple more games anyways. He'll be a good depth add, especially with the role he's on. Moving along to some forwards. Maybe look at Robbie Fabry over in Detroit there, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, top power play unit there. He has 10 points in a 5-game point streak. Do believe that got snapped tonight there, but still hot nonetheless. +4 in those 5 games, 6 points on the power play there. He's been on an absolute tear right now, and he's obviously not going to keep this pace up, but he is playing top 6, getting top unit power play time. Could be an okay depth add in your scoring leagues. Over in Calgary, look at Dylan Dubé. Listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 22% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing top line, second power play unit there. And he has 8 points his last 5 games. And in those 5 games, couple power play points, 13 shots on goal, and 6 hits there. He's been pretty good on that top line there and should provide value if added as a depth piece. Over in Arizona, look at Nick Schmaltz, listed as center right winger. Owned in 36% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, top power play unit there. He has 15 points his last 10 games, so pretty good. Plus 8 in those 10 games and 26 shots on goal. He's on a really, really nice roll right now, and he'll be an excellent ad for your scoring leagues. Over in St. Louis, look at Braden Shen, listed as center left winger, owned in 59% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing second line, top power play unit there. He has 9 points his last 10 games. 4 of those 9 points being on the power play, so pretty nice production on the power play there. Also in those 10 games, he has 18 shots on goal, 16 hits, and 7 blocks. Overall, he has pretty nice cats, and pretty nice for a while there. So if he is available, it'll be a good depth ad, especially in your Cats leagues. Over in Tampa, look at Anthony Chiarelli, listed as center left winger, owned in 17% of Yahoo leagues. Playing second line for them there. He has 6 points his last 5 games, and in those 5 games, he's +4, 13 shots on goal, and 3 blocks. Do believe he got 1, maybe 2 points tonight again. So he's on a nice little run and in the top 6. If in a real deep league, he could provide some depth for you for a few weeks at least. Over in Florida, look at Eetu Listerainen, listed as center left winger, owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing third line, second power play unit, and he has 8 points his last 8 games. And in those 8 games, he's +6, has 15 shots on goal and 5 blocks in there. He's been good for a bit, and he's getting more ice time as his production's increasing, playing better. He's getting more and more ice time there. So in your deeper formats, he could provide some depth. Over in New Jersey, look at Andre Palat, listed as a left winger, owned in 39% of Yahoo leagues, playing top pairing, top power play unit there. He has 8 points his last 10 games. In those 10 games, he's +5, couple power play points, 18 hits, 11 blocks there. He has pretty nice numbers in most Cats there, and should be a solid ad, especially in your Cats leagues. Over in Detroit again, look at Tyler Bertuzzi, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 21% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing top line, top power play unit there. He has 7 points his last 7 games. 3 of those points being on the power play, 12 shots on goal, and 4 blocks there. He's been picking it up of late. Raymond going on IR, it's giving Bertuzzi even some more opportunity there. So in your deeper scoring leagues, that's where he's going to provide the most value for you. Over in Winnipeg, look at Blake Wheeler, listed as a right winger, owned in 52% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, top power play unit there. He has 12 points his last 11 games, and 4 of those 12 points being on the power play. So the offense has been there pretty much all year, except when he was hurt there for a little bit. So he'll be a great ad if he is available in your leagues. Over in Vegas, maybe look at William Carrier, listed as left winger, owned in 4% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line, getting time on the second power play unit there. He has 7 points his last 7 games. And in those 7 games, also +7, nice little 7-7-7. Be a end in Vegas, go figure. But also in those 7 games, has 20 shots on goal and 12 hits there. He's been on a tear since returning from injury there, and if in a real deep league, he could provide some depth for you. Over in Pittsburgh, look at Rickard Rakell, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 63% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, top power play unit there. He has 7 points in a 4-game point streak, so really hot over the last week and a bit here, with 16 shots on goal, 4 hits, and 3 blocks. It's been really hot. He does play on that top line for the Penguins, plays top unit power play time, so if he is available, he should be a very, very solid ad for you. Over in San Jose, maybe look at Alexander Barabanov, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 4% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, top power play unit there, and he has 9 points his last 8 games, so pretty good. Couple points on the power play, 16 shots on goal in those 8 games, so adding some shots there. He's on a roll of late and should provide some depth in your deeper scoring leagues. For the Rangers, maybe look at Capo Caco, listed as a right winger, owned in 9% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing third line, second power play unit, and he has 9 points his last 11 games. So he's pretty decent offense for about 3-4 weeks now here, and he could provide depth in your real deep scoring leagues. Over in Vancouver, maybe look at Connor Garland, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 7% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit there, and he has 8 points his last 11 games. And also in those 11 games, he has 21 shots on goal. It's been okay offensive late, fairly decent there, and similar to Kako, can provide value in your real deep scoring leagues. Over in St. Louis, maybe look at Robert Thomas, listed as a center, owned in 53% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing top line, top power play unit, and he has 5 points his last 5 games. He always hovers right around that point per game, and I don't understand how he's not higher ownership. If he is available, he'll be really good in your scoring leagues there. Over in Calgary, maybe look at Michael Backlund, listed as a center, owned in 21% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line up on the top power play unit there. He has 14 points his last 11 games, and in those 11 games, he's plus 11, 35 shots on goal, and 15 hits. He's been hot, and he should be good in most formats. As you see, he contributes in other cats and just points there. Over in Florida, maybe look at Anton Lundell, listed as center left winger. Finally got that left winger attachment to it. He's been playing on the wing for quite a few weeks and always listed as a center, but finally center left winger, owned in 23% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, second power play unit, and he has 5 points his last 7 games. He's been pretty steady on that top line and been okay offense, not wowing you but not hurting you by any means. So if in a deeper league, he could provide some depth for you. Over in Montreal, maybe look at Jonathan Drouin, listed as a left winger, only owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line, second power play unit there. He has 5 points the last 4 games. Couple of those points being on the power play, 14 shots on goal. Don't kid yourself, he is really streaky. Of those 5 points, he had 1 3-point game, 1 2-point game, couple of bagels in there. So he is really streaky, but he's been good since coming back. So if you're in a real deep league, have to express real deep league, he could be a depth add for you. Going back to Detroit, look at David Perron, listed as a right winger, owned in 46% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line, top power play unit there, and he has 5 points his last 6 games, and all 5 of those points have been on the power play there. 13 shots on goal in those 6 games and 7 hits in there. He's been pretty good of late and should be an okay depth add if he is available. Over in Tampa, look at Alex Killorn, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 26% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit. He has 5 points his last 5 games. I believe he got a couple more assists tonight, and in those 5 games also plus 3. So he's been streaky, but if in a deep scoring league, got a couple more tonight, might entice you a bit. Could be a depth piece in your scoring leagues. Going back to the Rangers, maybe look at Alexis Lafreniere, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 30% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line, second power play unit. He has 9 points his last 11 games, so pretty nice production. 23 shots on goal, 26 hits, 6 blocks. It's been good for a while there, and could be an okay depth add in a Cats league the way he's playing. Over in Seattle, maybe look at Jared McCann, listed as center left winger, owned in 32% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing top line, top power play unit there. He has 9 points his last 11 games, and of those 9 points, 4 have been on the power play. Also 30 shots on goal, so firing quite a few pucks on net. 8 blocks in there, so nice amount of blocks for a forward there. He has a nice amount of offense of late and should provide value in your deeper leagues for sure. Going back to San Jose, maybe look at Logan Couture, listed as a center, owned in 47% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, top power play unit there. He has 11 points his last 8 games there. And in those 8 games, 22 shots on goal, 18 hits, 8 blocks. Other than plus minus, his other Cats are really excellent there. So it'll be a nice depth add, especially in your Cats leagues. If he is available, should mention that, getting close to that 50% mark. Last one, going back to Montreal, look at Raphael Harvey-Pinard. Listed left winger, owned in 12% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, top power play unit. He has 8 points his last 8 games. Should put that at 9-9. Believe he got 1 point tonight so far. Plus 5 in those 8 games. Couple power play points. 15 shots on goal. 15 hits. 15 blocks. It's a small sample size. He hasn't been up for that long, but he's been great so far. So if in a deep Cats league right now, in a standard Cats league, he'd just be a streaming option for me. Want a little bit more runway. But if you're in a deeper Cats league, he's been that good that he could be a sneaky good depth piece for you. That's it for today's episode. If you're watching via YouTube, remember to hit like, hit subscribe, remember that notification bell. If you're listening via podcast, remember to hit that heart, hit follow, hit subscribe, give a 5-star review depending what platform you're listening to it on. And don't forget to check out www.247clash.com. If you do sign up, please use referral code LTC, as that helps us out behind the scenes there. And we'll be out in a bit with another episode. Good luck in your leagues there, fantasy owners.